Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years, now an atheist, which simply means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. Today is Rapture Day, May 21st, 2011, but this video is not about the rapture. My local adversary, conservative Baptist pastor Paul Lyle, has a blog. His latest blog entry is based on the fact that he recently discovered the YouTube series It Gets Better, addressed to young gays and lesbians who are bullied unmercifully by their peers. Lyle wholeheartedly agrees that these young gays and lesbians should not be bullied, based on Jesus' reported admonition that we love one another. Lyle does not mention Jesus' reported statement that he, Jesus, wanted unbelievers brought to him so that they could be killed in his presence. Going beyond the issue of bullying, Lyle accurately recognizes that the It Gets Better series wants gays and lesbians to accept and value their homosexuality without feelings of guilt. And this Lyle does not accept. He states with utmost clarity, homosexuality is an abominable sin, and he bases this judgment on the Bible. He states that homosexuality is an abominable sin even between fully committed and fully consenting adults. He says that gays are required by his God to struggle against their homosexuality. Lyle puts gays in the same category as murderers, pedophiles, and cheating spouses. That is, he says that gays have no more right to say, "It's okay because God made me that way," than murderers, pedophiles, or cheating spouses have the right to say that in order to justify their evil deeds. In his blog entry, Lyle bases his entire message on carefully selected passages from his reference book, the Bible. Why not on the Koran or the Book of Mormon? Because, as Lyle acknowledges elsewhere, he was brought up to believe the Bible, not these other so-called holy books. Well, the Bible, the Koran, and the Book of Mormon all have an equal amount of legitimate claim to be Lyle's or anyone else's infallible guide to life, and that is, they have no legitimate claim whatsoever. Lyle believes, without a shred of supporting evidence, that the Bible was authored by a supernatural being, namely his God, whose very existence has no credible evidence. And in his use of his reference book, the Bible, Lyle is selective. He says his God is righteous. He overlooks the facts that his biblical God endorses slavery, mass murder and torture, cannibalism, rape, incest, and sexism against women. Lyle also does not face the fact that his biblical God does not simply oppose homosexuality. His biblical God says that homosexuals should be killed. Lyle makes it clear in his blog that he is not willing to go that far. The bottom line is, Lyle's position on homosexuality is irrational. It has a false foundation. That makes Lyle part of a long tradition. That tradition includes people who thought slavery was fine because the Bible says so. Lyle thinks homosexuality is sinful because the Bible says so. I do not think that way. My moral compass is not based on some collections of writings authored centuries ago by primitive men. My moral compass is based on my environment, my awareness of values of love and caring, as compared with how others, past and present, see these issues. Lyle, being a conservative Christian, is distressed by the fact that more and more liberal Christian pastors and laymen now accept homosexuality as non-sinful. Lyle and his trusting conservative Christian followers are now on the wrong side of history. More and more nations and more states in our nation are allowing same-sex marriages. More broadly, the number of secular alliance groups in colleges and even in high schools is increasing by leaps and bounds as more and more young people recognize the falsehoods and delusions of religion. More and more nations are becoming predominantly atheist, and these nations have the lowest crime rates and highest qualities of life in the world. Study after study confirm that there is a positive correlation between intelligence and atheism. The internet has a lot to do with all this. The internet has even been called the place where religions come to die. But to defend his position, Lyle writes eloquently in his blog. I sincerely suggest that you read his blog entry on homosexuality. Follow the link below this video. And I sincerely suggest that you leave a comment at his blog. Undoubtedly, many of his trusting conservative congregants in his Summer Creek Baptist Church read his blog. Do not leave his assertions unchallenged. Lyle, along with other religious ministers, including me in the 1960s, have dedicated their lives to what is in fact the spreading of falsehood, superstition, and delusion. What a waste. Thank you for watching this video.